Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
What games are you going to be zeroing in on here in Week 5 of the National Football League?
I want to make sure I pull it up, and I'm sure we'll pull up the betting odds later if you want. But the Green Bay Cincinnati game is one I'm looking at. You got a pair of 3-1 teams. Joe Burrow and Cincinnati are a team that maybe ahead of schedule a little bit, but they're on the upswing for sure. They're not in that upper echelon of tier 1 teams, but they're maybe the top of tier 2. They're very good, but this is kind of a statement game for them if they can find a way to beat Green Bay. I think the Packers are only favored by a field goal. So I'm looking at that one as a big game. I look at Minnesota, Detroit for the other reasons, because both those teams, they either need to win now or the season's done. I mean, it's almost at that point. I know it's early and it's 17 games, but I look at that. Another slobber knocker is the Cleveland Chargers game. Two teams that are in that tier 1. I believe that the Browns and the Chargers are in that tier 1. So that's going to be a really big one as well. They're both 3-1. There's a lot of big games. The Cardinals and 49ers is a big one. And the Cowboys Giants too. That's another big game. And they're all, divisional games. That's great.
It's funny. I didn't write down any of those games. I wrote down a bunch of other games.
Good.
Isn't it how wonderful the National Football League is?
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Guests for this upcoming week, Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes. I can't wait to talk to him. I want to know his thoughts on where they're ranked going into the season. We'll talk about opening week in the NHL. Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes.
It's another episode of the Rod Pedersen Show. Dive in with your comment now.
Welcome to a brand new week, everybody. We are back in the bunker. And as the intro's rolling, I'm informed we're back on Facebook today. Thanks. After a week off. How about that? I didn't know. As I just tweeted, YouTube only because we're preempted on Game Plus. I don't know. I just sit here and talk. That's what I do. RP back in the bunker. Thanks. Can I host the show? Thanks. Darren DuPont is here, DD, and this is the warm-up for E-Coal Electric, and
welcome home.
Gobble, gobble. Thank you. It's freezing here. Freezing.
I was thinking that this morning when I woke up, and I went to get to the car, and I'm like, it says it's -4 degrees outside.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, my gosh. This is the day he's back, and it's -4. So I knew we'd have some damage control to do today.
I had to switch over from Fahrenheit to Celsius. But for all our American friends, and trust me, you are here for the hockey talk, and we'll get it to you in moments. But it is 32 degrees Fahrenheit here in the sweatpants capital. And they talk about this far-off land when I was down in South Florida, where the hockey players come from, where the temperature dips below 0, which I think is 32 Fahrenheit, actually. That's exactly what we are today. It's freezing. And I'm like, yeah, guys, listen, if you leave your coffee in your console of your car overnight in the winter, it'll freeze like a rock. It happened. They're like, no. Oh, yeah. Why do you live there? I don't know. It's home.
They've heard of remote start, command start for the vehicle, but that's to get the air conditioning pumping before they get into the car. Not to thaw I have to scrape the window.
That's a thing. That's a thing. Well, we got some tremendous guests on the program today. Nice work by producer Clark on this one. We got Buck Martinez, the best broadcaster in the majors right now. And I'm not joking. You all know that's how I feel. Big fan of Bucky. Buck Martinez, former Blue Jays skipper, And, of course, current color guy on television, Buck Martinez, will be with us to talk about the MLB playoffs, the Blue Jays season. And that's in hour one. And in hour two, Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes live will be joining us to talk about the season, talk about a promotion he's got coming up here next month. Very excited. I will get to your comments. I appreciate everybody chiming in, but this is the warm-up for Ecode Electric where we talk, not you. So can we hit the Quick Six show horn, please, Director Jordan? Who, by the way, said, I'm trying to be positive today. I'm positive that I can't believe they're still wearing masks everywhere, and you got to show vaccination proof and negative COVID test to go work out, go sit in a coffee shop. Where the hell am I? Oh, it's Canada, sir. Got it. Number one, John Gruden. Oh, boy. This started, late last week and over the weekend? Let me just, for those that don't know, here's the Associated Press story. I will read it. John Gruden has resigned as coach of the Las Vegas Raiders after emails he sent before being hired in 2018 contained racist, homophobic, and misogynistic comments. Gruden released a statement Monday night saying, I've resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans of Raider Nation. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone. I initially thought, because I have seen how this goes down, that somebody was trying to deliberately take down John Gruden. And then we dig a little further. We learn a little more that this was the investigation into the Washington football team where they were investigating team emails going back a decade that snared Gruden in this net. You now know this, right?
Yes.
This wasn't anybody saying, I got these emails that I'm going to take Gruden down. The investigators were going through all the emails. It was Bruce Allen, right? One of the top Washington guys. Through his emails, Gruden's saying this? What? Now, am I shocked that he's no longer the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders? Absolutely not. This stuff, this Me Too, if that's what we're calling it, I don't know. Just politically correctness. This is not politically correct. He can't be the coach of the football team. But let me just say this. Stephen A. Smith, a black man whom I love on ESPN, says, I don't want him to see him lose his job. His punishment will be walking into that locker room with half full of black men and having to face them. He didn't even get that opportunity.
He didn't.
He resigned. And so the NFL was aware of this going back a while. They waited for the Raiders to do the right thing, the Davis family that owns the team, and they didn't do the right thing. And it got forced into John Gruden resigning today. So my point, do I feel bad for John Gruden? No, because it sounds like he's still the same guy. But I'm not going to sit here and wave my finger because I used to be that guy making stupid terms, emails. I'm sitting there going, bad week to be a head coach of an NFL team between John Gruden and Urban Meyer. Like, how dumb can you be? This is dumb stuff in both of their cases and both self-inflicted. And in the case of John Gruden resigning, I don't know if he'll ever coach again. I can't think he'll ever be on television again. He had the huge endorsement deal with Hooters restaurants, if you recall. Hooters ain't going to touch him anymore because people are going to go, I'm not going to that restaurant if they endorse this guy. So he had to quit now because I still think he is that guy. Now he'll have the opportunity to repair himself as a human being, and who knows if he'll ever get a job again coaching or on the air, but he had to go. That's my take today.
I completely agree with you, and I think you nailed it when you said he's still that guy. Now, I don't know John Gruden, so I can't say if he is or he isn't, but I think he is. He has to be, because I think if John Gruden is not that guy, he still has his job today. Because we could, if we're going to go back and dig up stuff from 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years ago, there's a lot of people going to lose their jobs, right?
Sure.
But for me, it's more about who are you today? And, as opposed to, have you grown and learned from your mistakes? And I think when they're doing their due diligence, they know the kind of guy that John Gruden is. And I think if he had known that he had made mistakes in these emails and the way he communicated, if he had known that some of this thinking about gay NFL players and female referees and all of that was wrong, then he would be a different guy. The Raiders would be confident he's a different guy. The NFL would be confident that he's grown and changed. And there'd be people in his corner saying, no, you got this wrong. Yes, he made a mistake, but I'm not that guy. Nobody's come out and defended him and said, He's not that guy today, and he made a mistake. He's only realizing the mistake now, and that behavior, I'm sure, has continued. Maybe not in emails, but phone calls, text messages, team meetings. So there's a reason why nobody's jumping to his defense, and that's why doesn't have a job anymore, because he hasn't changed.
We got a lot to cover today, and it's going to be Moose and I for the first 2 segments before we bring in Buck Martinez in segment 3, because we wanted to spend some significant time on this, but I also want to get to the hockey. But the thing with Gruden, the one thing, we've been watching coverage on ESPN this morning, all morning. Actually, is that the Game Plus TV sound? I left the sound up.
Okay, we'll get that.
It's on me. It's my bad. But from the lobby, I hear the television on, and we're preempted from Game Plus TV, at least today, maybe all week. So you can at least find us on Facebook and YouTube. But anyways, the thing with Gruden, it's like, how can you be so stupid? It's like Urban Meyer. How could you be so stupid as the coach of an NFL team to have this woman grinding in your lap in a bar? How do you have the time? But they can be that stupid. That's the thing. They're not necessarily geniuses just because they're NFL head coaches. What scares me, though, because what I've heard a lot of with the Gruden stuff is you can think it, you just can't say it. Thinking this stuff isn't good either, right? If you're in a position of power, which John Gruden is, but you're not hiring somebody because he's black, you're not drafting somebody because he's gay, just because you don't put it into an email doesn't make it right. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a guy like Gruden, well, he is what he is. He's exposed now. The real scary ones to me are the people that are thinking it, and they're still discriminatory, but they just keep it to themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm not hiring this person because they're gay, but I'm not going to tell anybody that. I'm not going to put it in an email. All of that behavior needs to end. And I was thinking about women in broadcasting now, and there are so many of them on the air. A lot of them are pretty darn good. I'm sitting back going, I don't mind this. Their analysis is good. They know what they're talking about. That's all that I want. 10 years ago, that wouldn't have been me. That's the point. I have changed. I hope Gruden has the opportunity to change, because I wasn't a lot different from that guy. And do I feel sorry for him, though? No, because I still think that he is that guy.
That's the biggest difference in all of this, is that, there's not a lot of evidence out here to say that he has changed and has grown and that he's not that guy. If you can just say, hey, that was 10 years ago, I've learned from that, I've dealt with it, all of these other things. He's got a gay player in his locker room in Vegas. So, yeah, I don't feel bad for either. And I've been a John Gruden fan. I thought his analysis was entertaining. I thought as a coach, he was pretty smart. I liked watching him on the Hard Knocks. I thought he's an entertaining guy. But I'm not really a big fan anymore now.
Oh, I know, for sure. Anyways, that's a lot of time on the first point. So we will move on. You are more than welcome to chime in with your comments, however, and the boys will put them on the screen from the back. The warm-up is brought to you by ECOL Electric. Our annual fall promotion sale is on now with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. ECOL Electric, let's get to work. Their fall promotion sale. Did I mention how cold it is out there? I was driving down Victoria Avenue, by the way. All the leaves are gone. I'm like, I completely missed the golden yellow, beautiful leaves of one of the most beautiful streets in the country, Victoria Avenue. I'm okay with it based on where I was. I'm just saying I missed it all. Moving on.
Yeah,
Yes?
Quickly. I went to Deer Valley for one final round of golf.
How was it?
The most beautiful place. In the fall with the golden leaves.
I bet.
That place is a treat, and it's in great condition.
Point two, opening night in the National Hockey League. If I could, the ESPN music for the NHL, I'm trying to remember what it is. I thought I tweeted the poll. Oh, I did. I just didn't pin it. There we go. I am pinning the poll. It is opening night. It's a doubleheader on ESPN and Sportsnet here in the Great White North. Here's my prediction. The Tampa Bay Lightning home to the Sidney Crosby-less Pittsburgh Penguins. That's the first game, followed by the Seattle Kraken at the Vegas Golden Knights. It's going to be a couple of whitewashes tonight. It's going to be a couple of road kills. Tampa Bay and Vegas will both win by 3 goals or more. Write it down.
Okay.
Especially with Sid. Sid's making the trip. He's going in at Tampa, but not playing for the Penguins tonight. And the Lightning are going to raise another banner with a full arena, and they're going to kick the dog snot out of the Penguins, who are who we thought they were. Old, broken down, and they're not what we thought they were years ago. That, in my opinion.
That's what we think of Pittsburgh, and we're going to be, fog. Our brain's going to be foggy with that nostalgia of Letang, Malkin, Crosby. No, they're not playing. So you're right. It might be the Penguin fans I talk to think that this is the year they regress big time.
And there are a lot of those Penguins fans around here, and I think that's just because of their long, deep spring runs. Speaking of that, the Vegas Golden Knights have taken that over with long, deep spring playoff runs. The Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. I should be wearing my hat, too. I see Reed Johnson is watching from Best Made Videos and the Mark Cast, that football podcast out of Seattle. He's driving to Vegas right now, watching the show. So let's just talk about this game for a second. Clearly, I got a pretty good idea how the Vegas Golden Knights think, because I know those guys very well, known them long time. And I think, without having spoken to them, just knowing them well enough, they've been listening to this Kraken stuff getting crammed down their throats for the last at least year, maybe 2 years. Most jersey sales, most merchandise sales, first this hiring, first that hiring, first this, first that. They haven't even pissed a drop, as my friend Perry Shockey would say, as a hockey franchise. And it's just, they're all that. And here's the Vegas Knights sitting here, beginning year 5. They've been in the conference final 3 times out of their 4 years of existence, and I think they're tired of it. Tired of listening to how great the Seattle Kraken are in their climate control arena. Oh, great. It's going to get ugly tonight, folks. Plus, they had Philip Grubauer's number in the playoffs last year when he was with Colorado. I just think the Vegas Golden Knights are going to pulverize them. I really do. They've been through a lot of stuff with the Marc-Andre Fleury trade and... well, the Marc-Andre Fleury trade and the Robin Lehner stuff. It's time to go out and take it out on somebody. And the Seattle Kraken are going to actually be the crash test dummy at T-Mobile Arena tonight. Write it down.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that for sure. I mean, Mark Giordano now, the captain of the Kraken, so they've got good leadership in place. So I don't think they're going to be a complete disaster. I think they'll be okay. I really do. But where are you if you're the Kraken? Is this, your very first game as a franchise? I mean, officially, it's on the road. It's not the home opener. I could see them getting a little shell-shocked. I really could. And then having their big coming-out party when they're finally at home back in Seattle. That's when I could see the Kraken having their coming-out party. But it'll be fun to watch. I'm really curious.
Kevin Olenek watching on YouTube says, Rod, I think you are underestimating the Kraken. I see Vegas Golden Knights winning, but not by 3. Hey! It's all about predictions right now. We all have opinions. We all have belly buttons. Some of them stink. But that's what makes what we do here fun. And by the way, I was telling the boys here before the show that Chris Berman, big hockey fan, ESPN, y'all know Boomer, he today was doing his usual thing, but with NHL names. It was Max Pumpkin Patch already. Dougie Green Eggs and Ham, Alton. Braden, don't point. Mom said it's rude. So ESPN ready to roll with coverage and a doubleheader tonight. Tampa Bay home to Pittsburgh, Vegas home to Seattle. I wish I was there in Sin City tonight, but we will be watching. Listen, we're out of time for the opening segment. We'll just continue with points 3 through 6 when we continue, and I'll turn down the television in the lobby because I left it turned up. You're watching the RP Show. No Game Plus today, but we are back on Facebook Live and YouTube. Also, listen live at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the second segment. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues. Thanks for being with us. Again, not on Game Plus television today. Thank God that we have the streaming options. Facebook Live and YouTube Live are rolling. And as always, you can listen 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com. We'll pick up our quick six show topics in a moment, but just the biggest items, as far as I'm concerned, are John Gruden resigning Monday night as head coach of the Vegas Raiders. I think by now we all know why. And then tonight, opening night in the National Hockey League. And Donald Mitchell, one of our viewers, Navy guy, writes in and says, Gruden, wow, nothing you do online is a secret. If you won't say a slur to a person's face, then don't do it in an email or tweet or post. That's what we're facing today. That's what I'm saying. They're saying how smart he is on ESPN this morning. I'm like, he clearly isn't that smart. I don't care how smart you think. Maybe he's smart football-wise. He probably is. Not smart life-wise. And also, Patrolman Pete watching in Winnipeg says, when's that Eichel trade going to happen? And I'm like, I'm glad that he brought that up because we see late last week, who reported that, there's some stirrings now in the Jack Eichel trade situation with Buffalo. How long's that been going on? I keep continually getting sucked in, and we're as bad as anybody for listening to the bunk. All you need to do is watch the games. I thought Carson Wentz was dead. And then I watched him, and with my own eyes in Miami leading the Colts, kicking the Dolphins' ass. Do you know what I mean? It's just, Tom Brady's got a thumb injury, may or may not play Thursday. He'll be playing. I know he's been ruled in for the game on Thursday night. But all this, it's fake news.
Until it happens.
Right.
Like, until there's something happening. I mean, I would imagine, and I don't think this is far off, that the Buffalo Sabres are having phone conversations every single day about Jack Eichel, somewhere with somebody, ever since this happened, and even before that. So what do the stirrings actually mean? More teams are calling. There's been offers. They're getting close. They've told him to book a plane ticket. He's doing a physical. Like, what is this? Things are getting stirred up in the Jack Eichel situation, because those calls have been happening every day, even when we think it's quiet.
I know. It's just, who do you do? Why am I listening to all this crap? By the way, Meg and Shan are watching from the Slapshot Sweethearts podcast, and that's a tremendous show. And they've written in and said, hey, y'all, Vegas or Seattle? Come on. How are we even talking about? It's not if Vegas wins. It's by how much.
How about that?
And it's going to be 3 goals or more tonight. Trust me. I don't like saying it. I love Jordan Eberle like family, assistant captain of the Kraken. They're going to get rope-a-dope tonight at T-Mobile Arena. And you and I, incidentally, will be watching it. We'll probably be listening to it.
Yeah.
Because we're driving to Edmonton pretty much right after the show today. And we're going to be there for the Oilers home opener and broadcasting from West Edmonton Mall Wednesday, Thursday. Is it okay that I let that out of the bag?
I was hoping you would. I was kind of waiting for it. So, yeah, absolutely.
Very excited about this week. We're going to... Where's my bell? I'm taking this on the road. I missed it. I missed it in Florida. Where do you find a cowbell in Florida? You don't. Even though the state of Florida is second highest for beef production in the United States of America behind Texas.
Wow.
I know my beef. By the way, the poll results. Meg and Shan want to know who's winning tonight in Vegas. Let's go back to the big board and the poll question today, which is... who wins tonight on opening night? All the options are there. The home teams, the road teams are a split. 81% of you people are voting for the home teams, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Vegas Golden Knights. And that's what I think will happen. Place your wagers at betregal.net. Kevin Gallant watching in Vancouver. He says, you don't live in Florida. Not yet, Kevy. But by the way, the former voice of the Regina Pats, Las Vegas Thunder, and San Francisco Spiders, Kevin Gallant, who's watching in Vancouver right now, his son Matthew, I'll say it, scored the winning goal for the Moose Jaw Warriors against the Regina Pats, God's team, Friday night at Mosaic Place. There, Kevin, congratulations. But my Pats have lost 3 in a row. From R.J. Farley. Watching on Facebook, says, just want to hear you call the Pats one more time. Grew up listening to Rod in Regina and Bruce Lubke in Brandon. The Golden Throat, Bruce Lubke. By the way, I saw a guy driving a moped in Fort Lauderdale. It was on my Instagram story. Did you see that guy with a helmet?
Yes.
Puffing a dart. At least he had a helmet on. And somebody wrote me and said, is that Bruce Lubke? Because that looked like Luber, the former voice of the Brandon Wheat Kings, the Golden Throat.
What a name.
Which part?
The Golden Throat.
Bobby Lowe's came up with that.
Like, the nicknames are just incredible from that era. The best nicknames ever came from that era.
The Golden Throat. Jennifer Illingworth watching down at the Four Seasons. She says, so jealous you guys are going to Edmonton. I haven't even seen them play in their new rink. Went to a game from the Helinka Cup a few years back. I did talk to the Oilers the other day. Looks like we're going to be in the facility for the game Wednesday night, which we don't need to be. I'm okay with going to Edmonton and just being around for the game. It was like going to Montreal for the Stanley Cup final. I didn't need to be in the rink.
Yeah,
it's just fun to be there. But the Oilers looks like they're gonna bring us into the facility for the game. Jeff, the Stamps fan, has shown up. How about that? Good morning, all. He says, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. How about them Stamps? Mm-hmm. The guy that doesn't show up after his team loses, but shows up after they win. Speaking of, let's go to point 3. Canadian Football League. I know my American friends say, you lose me when you talk CFL. And by the way, they all say that. We started as a CFL show. We have very clearly pivoted that we are an NHL show first now, not CFL anymore. Doesn't mean that we'll totally ignore it. So for the Americans that don't care for the CFL, just hang on to your bingo cards for 1 second. Because there was some great games on Monday in the CFL. Montreal beat Ottawa 20-16 on the last play in Montreal. 20-16, Alouettes winning. And then the late game, walk-off field goal by Boris Beatty. I've never quite known how to say his name, but I think I should figure it out by now. Is it Bede, Beatty, whatever? The guy can kick field goals. And he kicked a walk-off. Did you watch it at Tim Hortons?
Yeah. Kicked a good one. It was great. Very entertaining. Tavares Daniels showed up, too. Made some big plays, including that touchdown. It was a fun game to watch. Mm-hmm. And it's always fun when it comes down to the final play. But, man, that was a good kick at the end.
By the way, from Don Mitchell, Navy friend, says, your American friends need to open their horizons a bit. Actually, no, Don, the CFL needs to open up their doors a little bit. It's not on anybody else but the CFL. The people are losing interest in the CFL. So I'm going to tell you that right now. CFL could do a hell of a lot better job than what they're doing of exposure for themselves rather than just playing the games and saying, here we are. But I'm not going down that road. And the one thing that I heard over the weekend since I got back to the Great White North is attendance. Because, let's be honest, I'm at the Dolphins game with 80,000 people. Panthers, notwithstanding, that's preseason. We're not talking about it. But the NFL, attendance not an issue. College games not an issue. But in Canada, it is an issue, apparently. But I watched those games in the CFL. Looked like good crowds. And Montreal and Hamilton. Don't really want to go down that road. You were talking with some junior hockey personnel on the weekend that couldn't believe the low crowds in the Western Hockey League to start, like really low crowds.
Yeah.
But I'm over it. I'm past it. Checked out in a lot of ways. I showed up and called that Pats game. Loved it. Went and had a turkey supper with you. And it's all great. I'm not worried about these things anymore. I said teams are going to have to work really hard in this country to get people back into their facilities once they can. And people are like, no, Rod, you don't know what you're talking about. No. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. People can't live without it. So I'll just shut up and go play my little piano and sing my little songs over here. You go do your thing. I don't want to talk about attendance. Are we done with that?
Sure.
Other than my commentary today on Cat Country 98 FM, and Rock 98.5 FM is regarding the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And I will say one thing I've heard since returning from Florida is what's wrong with the Roughriders? What's wrong with the Roughriders? It's very similar to being in South Florida last month. What's wrong with the Dolphins? What's wrong with the Dolphins? You understand fans are fans no matter where you are. They're all the same.
Oh, yeah.
They just wear different colors. It just bothers me that the fans seem to be turning on the franchise quarterback here by name, Cody Fajardo. That worries me, but that's like me trying to stop that just because I love Cody Fajardo is like pushing a ball uphill. Eventually you're going to get crushed. So do you. Yeah. This football team's lost 4 of its last 6, and there's panic in the rectangle. But we will examine that a little later on. We're not going to go much longer in this segment because Buck Martinez has logged in from, I believe, Florida. We'll find out with Buck when he joins us here. But point 4 of the Quick 6 show topics was NFL Week 5 notes. We can go back to the Monday Night Football game last night. Another overtime game. I think it's a third of Monday Night Football already through 5 weeks. And Baltimore beat Indianapolis 31-25. I just laugh because the guys are saying, you see Graziano on Get Up this morning saying that Lamar Jackson's the MVP. He's the most valuable quarterback. I'm like, I saw him fumble the ball away twice on Monday Night Football just a couple of weeks ago in Vegas. Lamar Jackson's not my MVP. But we can have a fun talk a little later about who is.
For sure we can.
Wait a minute. No, the question will be, why is Dakota Prescott the MVP of the NFL? How many reasons can we have? The quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
You lost me.
Point 5, Major League Baseball playoffs. The Blue Jays, of course, out. I told you, people, that I lost a little interest when Canada's team fell out on the last day of the regular season. We're kind of pulling for the Giants because of our buddy Tim Leeper, and they've got the Dodgers on the ropes. They're up 2-1 in that series, which probably shouldn't be a surprise, but a lot of people, including me, thought that the Dodgers would be in the World Series, and that's not to say they won't be, but they got some work to do. And then in the other series, Houston leading Chicago 2-1. And the Braves are up on the Brewers 2-1 in that series. And Boston's moved on. And Kevin Cash is getting ripped apart for some managerial decisions with his pitching staff.
Again.
In the final game. So we'll get into that with Buck. My sixth point was our weekend photo album for the Great Western Brewing Company. But we don't have it ready to go today. So we'll do it tomorrow from Edmonton when we're broadcasting from the West Edmonton Mall. We're going to pause here, and the great Buck Martinez, joins us next. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live today, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rob.
Back in the bunker. Welcome back, everybody. It's Canada's daytime sports talk show, Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook. And it's not like Buck Martinez needs an introduction, but I'm going to say it anyway. Former Kansas City Royal, Milwaukee Brewer, Toronto Blue Jay for 6 seasons, retired as a Blue Jay in '86. was the skipper of Canada's team in the early 2000s and, of course, a broadcaster for a long, long time. And he joins us today from the Sunshine State. It's a true honor. First time I've had a chance to visit with him. How you doing, Buck?
I'm doing great, Brad. How are you? Thanks for having me today.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Obviously, your voice is the soundtrack of a lot of our lives up here. And, Buck, I'm going to jump right into the deep end here with this Blue Jays season that went down to the final day. I'm sure you never get tired of talking about it. I've been pretty hard on them that they squandered a lot of opportunities with this great young team. How are you on the Jays season? The fact that they didn't even get a wild card berth with this amount of talent and the records that they set.
Well, I think it was an exceptional season given the challenges they were presented by moving 3 times, playing in 2 minor league ballparks. I think Charlie did a heck of a job with his team, keeping everybody focused on the field. I can't fathom how many other teams would have handled it as well as the Blue Jays. And, yeah, there was a lot of talent on this team, but there's a lot of these guys that are playing for the first time in a full season. And I think to win as many games as they did and go down to the final day, they had opportunities in August. They kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start that month, and they couldn't win any games. They were slumping a bit as a team, and then they really turned things on again in September. But I think for the team, it's the youngest team in baseball, that they should be very proud of their season, as much as it was a disappointment on that final Sunday. When they look back now, a couple of weeks after the World Series, I think they'll be very pleased with their season.
So, Buck, what do you see ahead for the team? Like if they lose Robbie Ray and if they lose Marcus Semien, those are pretty big holes there. Are they going in the right direction? How wide is the window open here for Blue Jays success in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, it's fairly wide open when you think of Bo and Vladdy. They're the core of this team, and they're 22 and 23 respectively. So, you know, they're going to be around for a while. And Nate Pedersen looks like he might have finally figured things out toward the end of the season, so he could be plugged in. Alek Manoah's 23. You got Barrios for another year. If I were the Blue Jays, of course, my number one concern is bringing Marcus Semien back. He's the guy I want back because he's an everyday player and a terrific teammate, great citizen, and had a phenomenal year. I'd like to have him back first and foremost. Secondly, I might sign Steven Matz before I really make a big push to bring Robbie Ray back. I want Robbie Ray back. There's no question about it. But Matz might be an easier sign, and he might be a little bit more reliable. Robbie Ray's a full effort, 100% max effort guy, and he's a 2-pitch pitcher that had a phenomenal season. I think he's going to win the Cy Young. But I would focus first and foremost on signing Semien as an everyday player and bringing Steven Matz back to complement the starting rotation, and then really try and push hard to bring Robbie Ray back.
Buck, as a career broadcaster, I'm dying to ask you this question. The trained ear, I don't think, would notice that you were at home for the season. How difficult was it, A? And B, I should tell you, with Sportsnet's decision to carry the TV broadcasts on radio, you were heard all through Western Canada this year. And so they really couldn't tell what was going on. So you couldn't tell unless you knew, but it was pretty big news that Buck was at home in Florida all year. What was that like?
Yeah. And most of the time, Pat was in Cincinnati as well when we were doing the games. It was challenging, Rob. There's no question about it. You know, my strength as a broadcaster, in my mind, is being on the field before the game, talking to the players, the coaches, and the managers to get all the information possible to bring it to the fans on that night. But couldn't do that this year. Obviously, once they left Dunedin, we didn't have any contact at all with the team or the coaches or managers other than the Zoom calls that were kind of a daily process. But towards the end of the season, I think everybody was getting tired of the Zoom calls. I think the players and the coaches were, and I think the media was kind of tired of it as well. So, yeah, it's challenging, no question about it. But I think I had a lot of people ask me, are you in Toronto? Because I think it was fairly seamless working with Dan and Pat. I think we worked together for so long that we kind of knew exactly the direction that each of us was going, and I think it was a pretty seamless broadcast.
Absolutely it was, and I heard those games now over the radio for the first time ever, and I'll be honest, not just because you're on the show, but hearing your voice echoing across Western Canada was like it just felt so good. To the teams that are in the playoffs, Boston taking out Tampa Bay. Did you see this coming in the fashion that it has?
No, I didn't. I have to be honest with you. And we know Kike Hernandez has had a lot of success in the postseason. He did with the Dodgers, and again, he came up big with the Red Sox. He's got 10 hits in the postseason, more than anyone else. But I thought Tampa Bay would figure out a way to win it, and they had two great games at the end. They came back and pushed the Red Sox in Game 3 and came back and pushed them again in Game 4. But in the final analysis, Boston playing at home in Fenway, that's a special place, and I think that really energized their team and allowed them to advance, and now they'll meet the winner of Houston and Chicago. So it's a pretty good team. They overcame a lot, too. You remember, Ron, they had a lot of problems with COVID late in the season, and they had to dig down deep into the minor league system and brought in some free agents. So they deserve a lot of credit for getting through all of that and advancing now to the next round.
Is Kevin Cash getting unfairly criticized, dare I say ripped, for his handling of his pitchers in these last two postseasons?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You know, I had Kevin as a player when I managed the Blue Jays, and he was with us in the organization. But I'm really down on the move he made last night when Colin McHugh is just sailing through the lineup. 18 pitches, he takes him out of the game. I mean, I think you've got to trust your eyes at some point. And he was criticized for the Blake Snell move last year in the World Series at a time when the Dodgers weren't even coming close to Snell. And I think the same was true last night with Colin McHugh. I think that you got to believe your eyes. And when he's setting down those guys as easily as he was, why make a change? He'd only thrown 18 pitches, and I know he's a reliever. But at the same time, you've got to rely on the adrenaline of the moment, the fact that he was really dealing and shutting down the Red Sox in their home ballpark. And I think it's unfortunate they went to Shane McClanahan, and he gave up all those 5 runs. And that was really the difference in the game, that early move by Kevin Cash.
My West Coast friends say this Dodgers-Giants series is going to be a war. Obviously, they hate each other, tremendous rivals. How do you feel about the way that series has gone with the Giants up 2-1?
Well, Ron, I grew up a Giant fan. I saw my first game in 1958 at Seal Stadium, and Willie Mays was playing in center, so they've always been my favorite team. And there is a definite border between L.A. and San Francisco as far as sports. It goes true with the Warriors and Lakers. It's true with the 49ers and the Rams of the past. And it's certainly true with the Dodgers and Giants. And this is a terrific matchup. And we've seen some great games. 1-0 last night. Scherzer gives up the home run to Longoria. And the Giants made several good defensive plays to keep it that scoreless game. But I think it's going to be another exciting game. Anthony DeSclafani goes against the Dodgers tonight, and they've hit him hard all season long, so it's going to be interesting to see how they fare in this game. They could be going to the next step themselves, and nobody predicted that the Giants would have the season they've put together.
107 wins, absolutely. You obviously know Tim Leeper. We had him on last week. I said, I'm pulling for the Giants because of you, Tim, now that he's working in their organization. A wonderful triple-header today in Major League Baseball playoffs. And, Buck, will you have a role? You're usually at the microphone for the big games here in October. What's your sched here for the playoffs?
No, I won't be doing any of the games this year. I'm just going to be doing some work with Jamie Campbell in the pregame show, and we'll be on from time to time on MLB Central with Jamie and Joe Siddle. But no, I won't be doing any of the games like I've done in the past.
Well, enjoy it. I know you will. Buck, clearly big fans here. Thanks for the time and waiting a long time to do this. So enjoy the off season.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Sportsnet and Blue Jays great Buck Martinez joining us from the Sunshine State. We'll take a timeout. We'll answer some of your questions, which has come in. I think I can handle those regarding the Blue Jays. And we got a sports update, too. On the way, Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes going to join us live on NHL opening week. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
We're back live in the bunker, and the Moose is running around here somewhere, but we got a big day. He's not here. Really big day. I can handle this segment myself, I think. Because after today, I'm taping my Roughriders television show this afternoon, and then we're jumping in the car, and we're driving to Edmonton. I guess it's that way. Or as you're looking at it, that way. And Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be broadcasting from the West Edmonton Mall and going to the Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks home opener on Wednesday night. I'm going to get to your viewer comments in a moment, but first a sports update. The puck drops on another NHL season tonight with a doubleheader on ESPN and Sportsnet. The Tampa Bay Lightning will raise their third Stanley Cup championship banner before facing the Pittsburgh Penguins at Amalie Arena. Second game features the NHL's 32nd franchise, the Seattle Kraken, who visit Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. And by the way, I want to sink right into this probably next segment when the Moose is back with me. But I was talking to Tampa Bay's assistant GM the other night, Al Murray. We talked about this being the best rivalry in hockey right now, the Panthers and the Lightning. It's a thing. It's the best rivalry. We sat down in the media room at the Brandt Center and we talked about it. He goes, Oilers, Flames, good, not as hot as it was or could be. Capitals, Penguins, not really there anymore. You tell me what's a better rivalry than the Lightning and the Panthers right now. And the other thing was interesting was the Lightning captain, Steven Stamkos, saying, if you think that they've lost their hunger, the Lightning, he said winning 3 Stanley Cups in a row takes them outside of NHL fandom into all of pro sports, the big 4 leagues, dynasties and legendary status. That's what the Lightning are going after. 3 straight championships. You're not just hockey heroes then. You're sports legends. Interesting comments from Steven Stamkos. So we can talk more of that next break. But we've very clearly made the decision we're an NHL show, not a CFL show anymore. Doesn't mean that we will ignore the CFL, but it's changed. Get with it. It's a rapid downfall for John Gruden. Gruden resigned Monday night as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders of the NFL because of emails containing racist, homophobic, and misogynistic comments. The emails were obtained by the New York Times. Gruden is in the fourth year of a 10-year, $100 million deal he signed with the Raiders in 2018. The legend of Lamar Jackson continues to grow. The star quarterback led the Baltimore Ravens back from a 16-point fourth-quarter deficit last night, orchestrating 3 consecutive touchdowns to secure his team a 31-25 overtime victory over the Indianapolis Colts on Monday Night Football. And the Toronto Raptors wrap up their preseason tonight in Washington against the winless Wizards. Raps cruised by Houston 107-92 last night in Cam Birch's first game of the preseason. The sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. Book your group or business Christmas party now for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, where you'll never have to ask to have the CFL game put on their TVs. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Okay, it is viewer takeover. I have the Prairie Mobile text line in my hands from the metal shingle guy, writing from the 306. He says, how about that turkey bowl? Argos. And says, yes, Rod, the NFL has been so good and exciting this year, it's been hard to get into the 3-down game. That's from metal shingle guy. Ray in the 6 watching, Kitchener, Ontario area. He says, hi, Rod, hope you had a blast in Florida. Great weekend for sports. Argos last-minute field goal for a big win. Great baseball game as the Bo Sox move on. And the NHL gets going tonight with Canada's team. The Golden Knights can't ask for much more. And good news on the OHL is up to 100% capacity. Now it's up to the teams to get them there. It's a lot of thoughts from Ray in the 6 checking in today. From Leonard from the 536. He says, I had a dream. The good Lord appeared to me and told me the last 2 games against Calgary was not a sprinkle of Jesus, but it was a sprinkle of Satan. You got a sound effect for that?
How about that? Spicy.
Spicy. The devil masterminded the Calgary Stampeders, sweeping the Saskatchewan Roughriders in a back-to-back. Maybe. We can talk about that next hour, too, if you wish. Like I say, I just transplanted locales. I'm in South Florida. It's what's wrong with the Dolphins everywhere I go. I come back to the rectangle. It's what's wrong with the Riders everywhere I go. Fans are the same everywhere. And Mandy in Edmonton writes in. She says, sorry, but I called it with Fajardo's first season luck. Not saying he won't be great next season. With Harris in next Elks game, at least there's some competition against Winnipeg. That's from Mandy. Yes, the Edmonton Elks looking at making a change to their quarterback for this week's game against Winnipeg. Like it's going to matter. Time to break, isn't it, Clark? You're counting me out. Well, we still got a minute. What am I going to talk about for a minute? I'm teasing. From Christine, my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat's watching. Hey, Chris. She says, hope the Kraken do well. What do you mean, tonight? They're going to get their asses handed to them by the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. You watch. 3 goals or more. And if you were missing the first segment of the show, I said we will be broadcasting from West Edmonton Mall Wednesday, Thursday. So I'll be coming through Alberta, but just not through Medicine Hat. The Slapshot Sweethearts still watching. And where did it go? She said, we could vomit watching that banner go up tonight. Well, they earned it. So we got a lot to talk about next segment. And the Moose will be back. Hang on, everybody. Hour 2 is brought to you by Core Grain. Coming up after this break on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Seattle is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Guests for this upcoming week, Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes. I can't wait to talk to him. I want to know his thoughts on where they're ranked going into the season. We'll talk about opening week in the NHL. Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes.
It's another episode of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Yeah, yes, guy.
Now.
Yes, guy. Let's go. Let's go. It's hour 2. Rick Regan's fired up. We're all fired up. Woo-hoo. Yes.
Let's go.
It's hour 2 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. Back home in the freezing bunker. It's literally freezing here in the rectangle as we talk sports. And what do you got your hands in the air
try
for?
and treat you right.
You do treat me
I
great.
try and make sure everything's... I can't do anything about the weather.
You can't?
No, I can't.
Not a good day to wear shorts, I guess. Listen. I'm going to start this off, hour 2 for Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm, right here with this comment from Northside YEG. That's a viewer on YouTube who clearly doesn't want to be identified personally. His handle is Northside YEG. And he says, man, people in Edmonton are fired up for the home opener tomorrow. Going to be a lot of Oilers jerseys out. First home game with fans for years. Well, I've packed. We're going, right? Pretty much right after the show today. We're going to Edmonton, and we're broadcasting the show from West Edmonton Mall, a very special design place, designated place in West Edmonton Mall, which I'll let you divulge, and then we'll be, according to the Oilers, at their home opener against the Vancouver Canucks. Now, I won't be wearing my Oilers jersey. I brought a suit. I'm very respectful. You couldn't believe that I took a suit to Florida to sit in the press box at FLA Live Arena. Well, of course, man.
Were you the only one?
Only one wearing a suit?
Yeah.
No, everybody was wearing a suit.
Okay, good.
In the press box. It's the National Hockey League, man.
Well, I know.
It's not a bunch of Rudy Poos. So, anyways, I have this. This is one thing that annoys me. The last time that I was at an Oilers game live, I had this orange jersey that I had specifically made, those Oilers thirds, with 99 Gretzky on it. You wouldn't believe how much I got spit-talked by Oiler fans, of which for a large portion of my life I was one. You can't wear that. That's not era-specific. I'm like, you need to shut up. I'll wear whatever I want to wear. I had this thing specifically made, Gretzky 99. What the hell's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Did I do something wrong?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean,
people just annoy me.
Yeah, like if I was going to a Leafs game, I'd wear a Matt Sundin jersey if I was going to wear a jersey. Or Doug Gilmour or whoever. Maybe it'd be somebody now. I'm assuming that's all good. And every venue I've seen them wear jerseys of the legends.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but it's not era specific. Shut up. Just shut up. People annoy me. The Puck and Pigskin podcast, watching in Red Deer. Jason says, gotta say, I'm disappointed in the NHL's opening night. Only 2 games and none of the Canadian teams? Come on, Jason. Do we have to go through this elementary 101 NHL? It's on ESPN. It's opening night. They haven't been on ESPN in how many years? All the focus is on these two teams. We have the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning against the Pittsburgh Penguins, one of the biggest marquee franchises in the NHL. That's the first of a doubleheader. And then the second game is the Vegas Golden Knights, Canada's team, against the Seattle Kraken. There's probably the number one story in the NHL this year is how do the Kraken fare?
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense to me. It's like the National Football League. You saying, why do they only have one game on opening night? The Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a joke. No, it's to put all the focus on those teams and have ESPN be allowed to feature it with a doubleheader. That's why they're doing it. Canada, forget about it. They don't care. That's just a fact.
It is. It's exactly what they're doing. And we've done this for years. It's called Hockey Night in Canada. It's called the Winter Classic. It's called, all the focus on one game, celebrate the season, consistent messaging, get excited, and then get everybody going the next night. Like, I think that's the way you should do it, for sure.
Nelson Hakowich, our VP of Sim Events, says, I'm excited to see how ESPN produces hockey. Well, here's the thing. You and I are going to be listening to the broadcast, which is totally fine, but we're not going to be, unfortunately, watching the ESPN broadcast tonight. But they say that they're going to be tracking the puck. You're not old enough to remember the Fox track puck. Did you even see it?
Yeah.
You did? That was just bad. That was an insult to the game. But I'm a lot more open-minded than I was in the 90s. Like, whatever it takes to sell the game, I'm all for. And by the way, Troy in Toronto asked last hour, Troy Kolbeck from Sober Athletic Wear asked me what I felt about what it was like to be at a Dolphins game with a full crowd. And to be honest, I never even really thought about it. It was a little loud. It was a little overwhelming, to be honest with you. But I'm 48 years old. We went 1 year with no crowds. In some cases, a year and a half?
Yeah.
It's not like it was 100 years ago, man. It felt fairly normal, right?
Yeah.
Had to walk 1.2 miles to get to the stadium. And I could go on a whole other rant on this. I wish the teams would listen to the fans more than they do, because I'm sorry to tell you, they don't care what the fans think. Is that not fairly evident? They don't care what the fans' opinions are? They don't.
They think they do. Right?
But they don't.
And they want to, but they don't actually. I feel like there's a bit of a disconnect in actually listening to the fans and putting the fans' interests first. I think in a boardroom, we sit there and say, oh, this is what the fans want. This will be good for the fans. It's like we decide what we think the fans want as opposed to actually asking the fans, what do you want? Right? And we get this idea that, oh, they want this and this and this, and there's a disconnection with the...
They don't listen to the fans. That's the bottom line. And here was my experience. I told you all before I went what I was going to do. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I had meetings with the Dolphins, meetings with the Panthers. I went to the games as a fan. I went to the games as media. I sat with an agent in a luxury suite. I literally did it all. But when I went as a fan, it was driving through traffic, parking 1.2 miles away, traipsing through the crowds, which you all do. I'm not complaining about it, but my point is The executives park right beside the stadium, go up to their seats in an elevator, eat shrimp cocktail. They're not on the ground floor in the trenches with the fans.
That's right.
And they don't want to be. And that's their right. That's fine. But they completely lost touch with the fan base. All leagues have. That's why I really enjoy going to these games as a fan to experience that. And it's kind of similar to the hockey game that we broadcast on Sunday, Regina versus Brandon. There weren't that many people in the facility. There just weren't. But I was just enjoying being there and calling the game. I'm not so worried anymore about that's their problem, not ours.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah.
Totally sidetracked here. Let's get back on track. Donna Berger says, lead the way, Rod. You do you. Jealous people never thought of it first. Probably the Gretzky jersey. That's what she's talking about, huh? I would
Gretzky
think.
jersey, going to Edmonton.
Being a Trailblazer.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. That totally reminds me of something. I just want to say the Shooters Shoot podcast watching, they say, can it be Thursday already so my Red Wings can lose 6-2 to Tampa Bay? Happy Tuesday, Rod and Company. Not great expectations for the Detroit Red Wings. But with Eddie Steele being let go last week, the Edmonton Elks radio guy, I put it in my 10 things column how my phone blew up with football people just going, how can he be let go? He said the truth. The Edmonton Elks are a grease fire, a dumpster fire. All the arrows do point to Brock Sunderland. How come he gets fired for saying that? And I'm like, guys, he's on the radio rights holder, the radio station that carries the team's games. You just can't tell the truth when you are on the air. And that's, if you're starting to realize now, where I've said for 2 years that I'm not pursuing a play-by-play job, this is why. And then these guys came to me and said, back to that Trailblazer thing, they're like, oh, you got to figure it out. You don't need to be affiliated with a team to be cool. You can still be cool. You don't have to have that name, that team name beside. No, I don't. I'm not sure everybody can do it, but we're doing it just fine.
Of course. Create your own brand.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We've got our clothing line. We've got our TV deal. We've got our mascot. We've got our interns. We've got all the other things that teams do. We don't need them. And that is a fact. By the way, do you want to mention where we're doing the show from in Edmonton this week? And then we'll get to the actual games because that's what I'd rather talk about.
Does it have a name? Because I'm not sure.
I'm sure we'll find out when we're there.
Yeah. And
this is breaking news.
The Edmonton viewers
It's
can tune us in.
11:11, by the way.
Holy smokes, we're doing this at the right time.
Yeah.
So the door of opportunity is leading us into the West Edmonton Mall tomorrow for our 2 shows. And they have said, no, we want you in the mall, but we've carved out a spot. You need a key to get in because we're going to put you right on the ship that's on the water in the middle of the mall.
How about that?
So we're going to be on a boat inside the largest shopping mall in the country.
World, isn't it?
For the show. Might be the world. I'm not sure. But we're going to find out. It's going to be great. This is even better than if they would have put us on center ice in the hockey rink.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're going to be on the boat. So, really cool. The shopping mall will be open. So, 10 a.m. for the folks in Edmonton. It'll be at 10. And we'll be on the air if you want to come down to the mall and say hi and watch
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So we know that you're listening to the podcast today, too, because Edmonton is number 2 for listenership on the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, it's Wednesday and Thursday, game day, and the day after game day, we'll be in the West Edmonton Mall on the boat. Come find us.
Because I'm a mall rat at heart.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne in Victoria, BC says, I love that the RP show is going to Edmonton to broadcast live. Makes for a fun show. Does it ever? And that reminds me, the Golden Knights called me this. Well, it was last week, and they were like, guess we'll see you at the home opener? No. And they're like, well, you said you were coming. I might have hinted it, but we're going to Edmonton. And we've known this for a while.
Yes. Edmonton's going to be great. But, we are going to sleep at the mall. We're going to eat at the mall. We're going to shop at the mall.
All of it.
Go to a movie at the mall. Do our show at the mall. Drive to the rink and go back to probably won't see a lot of Edmonton in these 2 days. But
it's a work trip.
But it's going to be a lot of fun.
Bob's your uncle.
Bob is our uncle. 11:11. The doors of opportunity is opening. Back on point. Let's get back. Other than Nelson, our VP of Sim Events says, I know a local club that is really good at assuming what the fans want. back to the earlier discussion. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg says they have had the NHL in the States for over 100 years, and outside of maybe 10 cities, they barely care. That's the truth. And I was reading an article in The Athletic by Pierre LeBrun talking about the America's team, the Florida Panthers, signing Sasha Barkov to an 8-year, $80 million deal on Friday, and how Barry Zito, the general manager of the Panthers, wants to make Florida a destination NHL franchise. And one anonymous GM said it's a team that has very little notoriety. And having spent 3 weeks there, I can attest. It's unconscionable to a Canadian hockey fan how little attention the Florida Panthers get as a hockey team. It's very similar to Arizona. Yet in Arizona, the Coyotes, the sense that I get is they don't care. They know they don't have any. They're never going to get any. They're like, whatever. Whereas the Panthers have said, you know what? Damn it. Enough's enough. We're going to be a destination franchise, and we're going to be a cool place, and we're going to get fans in the building. And they're going about it. There's a big difference between them and Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
And just back to that rivalry thing, by the way. When the Golden Knights were coming to the NHL, I thought this is going to be a delicious desert rivalry between the Golden Knights and the Coyotes. And the Coyotes haven't held up their end of the bargain. In the 4 years since the Golden Knights have been in the NHL, they've made the conference final 3 times. The Coyotes have only made the playoffs once. That's not even a rivalry. It would have been a great rivalry. But it's Florida, Tampa Bay, the number one rivalry in the NHL right now. And talking to Al Murray, the Lightning assistant GM the other day, he completely attested to that. And I know I'm all over the place, but I'm getting excited. We have made this switch. I announced it today. We're an NHL show first priority. After that, I don't know. But it's number one NHL. I saw, I think it was The Athletic, the coach's hot seat rankings. And I'm like, this should be good.
Oh, yeah.
And I clicked on it. First one, Andre Tournier, Arizona Coyotes. I'm like, exit. They just signed him to a contract. How is he the most on the hot? Who writes this crap? And I didn't go on to spend any time on thinking who would be the most on the hot seat, although I think it might be Alain Vigneault in Philly.
Yeah. Because they've got stars. You've got supposed to be the next great goaltender in Carter Hart.
Carter Hart.
You need that team to start playing to its potential. They're on the brink of a playoff spot when you look at, people's early season prognostications.
Mm-hmm.
They should be a team that right now should be continuing to elevate. They should be climbing that mountain and almost at the top of the mountain in terms of their evolution. So it's time to win in Philly, or you got to go in a new direction. Sean Couturier, with Giroux and with who they've added, their back end got better. Their defense is better. They've got really great potential in goal. They've got all the pieces. So Philly, it's now time to put up or shut up.
I think we could probably talk about that from the West Edmonton Mall. See, Don Mitchell, I was talking about him in the break. He has written in and says, does this switch mean no more Football Friday? No, it doesn't mean that, Don, at all. There will be Football Friday, but you need to understand something, okay? Everybody's saying, how did you go to Florida, and how did this work that you got accredited by the Panthers? I called them up and said, I'm bringing my show to Miami. How can we work together? They said, come on in. They rolled out the red carpet, okay? Edmonton Oilers. I said, we're coming to Edmonton. We're bringing our show. Can you get us into the game? Yeah, how many guys? What are the names? Do you want to know how the CFL's treated us? Do you? That's why. Like, we don't just sit here and do things willy-nilly. The CFL, this is on them, not us. The interest isn't there, dude. It's shrinking. And what are they doing about it? I've had some top-flight CFL media people call me in the last couple of weeks and go, hey, see what you're doing there, man. That's pretty cool. How can I do that? This league's in trouble, and they don't even know. So when you can rant it all you want, but they're not growing. How many times have I said on this show, you're either moving forward or you're moving backward? I know what we're doing. What are they doing? Okay. We'll pause and be back. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I like it. It's good.
You do? Because you gave me that.
I know.
That look.
We now can speak in body language so well.
Yes, you gave me that look.
Anything, but at the end of the day, anything that's real and true and from your core is always going to be the right thing to do for anybody in any discipline. but it's true. Like, at some point, you got to stop trying to paddle upstream.
Right. Well, Chris Bird, watching in King City, Ontario, says, got to go where the money is. That's what the Toronto media has been doing for years. We were only on the air on Game Plus for like not even a year. And I said to you guys, once we got some data, I'm like, oh, viewership data. This is why they do what they do. Okay, we got a break. We'll come back and we'll continue all this. Okay. Opening night in the NHL. John Gruden stepping down. The Raiders have a new head coach. And we will review Week 10 in the CFL. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Okay, welcome back to the RP Show, everybody. So this won't surprise you. We go to a commercial break and didn't stop talking the whole time, which did not allow me, Moose, to get my sports update ready, okay? So while I do that,
I
want
can
to
go?
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
something?
I do.
I just want to say this from our viewers, from Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg. I didn't know this about him. He says, I am an under 50 CFL fan, and I've been following Rod first through the blog and now through the show for over a decade, mainly for CFL news. Troy in Toronto says, nobody talked more CFL than you, Rod. The CFL's fools. They should have used and abused your show to promote their brand. They're too clueless to figure out how to market and sell their game. And there's more. Not every team. Bombers have been great. We were going through this. Bombers have been unbelievable. Argos have been unbelievable. Lions were great. They've cooled off a little bit. Same thing with the Elks, but they got bigger fish to fry.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the whole league.
No.
But I can tell you some teams, the way that we've been treated is unconscionable.
For sure.
And I have actually made it. We were at a coffee meeting this morning. I said, I deserve better than being treated this way. So we're pivoting and we're going to become NHL because it's worked real easily. Anyways, I'm getting my sports update ready. What did you
But let's remember the core of this. I mean, you grew up in hockey.
Right.
Your dad spent almost 30 years in the National Hockey League.
It's
you
easy.
spent time calling games, almost 20 years calling hockey games at the highest levels. I mean, part of it is, this didn't start because, being treated poorly and then I'm going to go find somebody else. This started with your love of the game. You're a hockey guy first. So let's remember that, and you've always wanted to make this a hockey show, and they've just made it easy. Who's going to be the easy one to work with? And the NHL said, what I wanted to talk about for a while, I've been sitting on it because sometimes you're like, what do you got?
Right.
And I just let you lead the show. The Fox Puck. I wanted to go back to the Fox Puck.
That long ago?
With the ESPN thing. Because I actually think there's a home for the Fox Puck. I think there is. Now, watching
the garbage bin.
Watching that during a game is just awful. But if you look at why was the Fox Puck created? Why is this here? What's the spirit of this technology? It's that the puck can get lost sometimes. And we noticed it when we were doing the Pats game. There was a couple of replays where the puck moves so quickly and it's deflected, our replays couldn't slow it down to find it. So if they use the technology in that way, where like on a replay, when the puck's moving so fast, they just light it up for the replay to show you the deflection.
Yeah.
Or when it's zinging really fast, they light it up for a second and then cool it back down. If they had a good producer managing that Fox Puck to just use it in the places where it's needed, it could be a really cool tool. But man, was that annoying, just lightning all over the screen all the time. So you can't have that.
Incredibly annoying. And I don't know for how long it lasted.
Yeah.
I don't. But Metal Shingle Guy writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line. He says, TSN's 4K broadcast yesterday was great. Not sure if they had it for the Rider game. I wasn't home. He says, go to the beach at the mall. Oh, you got to follow our social media. We'll be all over it at The Rod Pedersen Show or at our names. But I don't like that. If we want to sit and talk about it, I noticed it yesterday in the CFL games. It's like the portrait mode on your iPhone. Do you have it on your cheap Android phone? Do you have that? Where the focal thing is very in focus, and then behind it's all blurry. What?
You're the one who always says my pictures are so great.
So you have it?
How do you take great photos? Yeah, of course I do.
I first saw it in the NFL. People, you know what you're talking about.
Oh, on the sideline camera.
You can't see the fans' faces, and I want to see the fans' faces.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? I saw it yesterday. For
again, good technology to be used in certain spots, not just because it's the greatest new thing. We used to think that, adjusting our photos, you can do that on Instagram with contrast and saturation and all this, and you'd overdo it and it would look fake, but you'd think it looks outstanding. Well, we're abusing the tools and not using them properly, right? It's cool, but it looks fake, right? When you're watching them,
doesn't look real. No,
go
it's
away
like
on
a
the
video
sidelines
game
because it's not consistent with what you see from the main follow cameras to that, and you got to pick and choose when you use that focus because you're focusing on the subject and blurring out the background. And yeah, you got to pick and choose when you use it.
Do you think they'll go back? Is this like the Fox Puck?
Yeah, they won't do it all because it is weird. But if you pick your spots, it's okay. I didn't mind when Lisa Salters was doing her stand-up on the sideline because it was supposed to be about her, and the guys are warming up. And you could tell, and that was blurred out. I like that, but touchdown celebrations and stuff, I don't like that.
Yeah, well, hey, I see what the viewers are saying. Earl James watching on YouTube, he says, it's a new thing. Let them try new things. We're all going to try new things, and we'll find out whether people like it or not. And I'm just giving my opinion as a guy sitting at home watching 9 hours of football yesterday that I didn't care for the new camera angles the CFL and NFL are using, and we'll see if they go back. That's my opinion from my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat, which, by the way, they get a real kick out of that in Florida. They say the CFL has another mic'd up game, which will come with age warnings. Horrible idea to shun the next generation of fans. Well, they're going to do what they're going to do. I mean, you don't need mic'd up to hear guys dropping F-bombs on the air. Give me a break. I hear it all the time. All the time in all the leagues. You're going to tell me that your kid hasn't heard the word F before? Come on. Chris Bird in King City, Ontario. Speaking of amazing camera angles, watching some of those NFL kicks from what clearly has to be drone footage. Amazing. See, that's them trying new things. I like the aerial coverage that TSN is using for CFL games right now. We're all going to give our opinion. They're going to try new things, okay? Are we afraid to give our opinion here? By the way, to the sports update I promised. The Montreal Canadiens, breaking news this morning, have signed center Nick Suzuki to an 8-year contract extension worth $63 million. The 22-year-old from London, Ontario, led the Habs in postseason scoring last season with 16 points in 22 games. If you're Vegas, are you making that trade again? Pacioretty for Nick Suzuki?
Probably not.
No?
I think
Suzuki was very good last year.
Suzuki was very good, but this is a good contract. I like this contract for both the Canadians and Nick Suzuki. Let's be honest. Nick Suzuki is not, I don't know, he's not a tier 1 superstar, right? He's not projected to be a 10, 11, $12 million a year guy. What is this, for less than 8, right? Mm-hmm. Between $7 and $8 million. I think that's perfect. He gets that guarantee that he's going to be a $7 to $8 million guy for the next 8 years. The Canadians say, look, if he turns into a $10 million guy, which he's projecting that he's gotten better each year, then we got a little bit of a deal here. So I think they're both happy with it. A little less on the top-end dollar, more on the term. I think everybody's happy.
Comment of the day from Scott on YouTube. Scott with 1 T. He says, welcome, NHL. For years, the RP forums have supported and beat the CFL drum along with the Saskatchewan Roughriders football team, but I haven't seen any reciprocation or likewise support. Good. Hockey. Are we making an official announcement today, Moose? Because I feel like we are. It's an NHL first show right here.
I hereby declare
it's an NHL show.
Away we go.
And the guy, he gets it. Scott gets it. Hockey is what I would rather have done all along. Let's go.
Let's go.
To baseball. The Houston Astros can join the Boston Red Sox in the American League Championship Series with a win tonight at Chicago. The Astros lead their AL Division Series with the White Sox 2-1. Lance McCullers Jr. will pitch today in Game 4 instead of Jose Urquidy as the Astros revamp their rotation following yesterday's rainout. The reigning World Series champions are facing elimination in their best-of-5 NLDS. The LA Dodgers are down to 2-1 heading into Game 4 of their series with the rival San Francisco Giants. San Fran took the lead in the series with a 1-0 win on Monday in LA. And the Braves can wrap up their National League Division Series against Milwaukee tonight at home. Pinch hitter Jock Pedersen launched a 3-run homer in the 5th inning last night, sending the Braves to their second straight 3-0 win against the Brewers. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca, and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including my favorite, Moose, the almond mocha. No, the almond coconut. Why do I have almond mocha written in here? Order yours now at g2gbars.ca.
Somebody's trying to tell you what you like? Or what?
Yeah. I already had my almond coconut this morning for breakfast. I worked out almost every day in Florida, and I came home with a ferocious appetite. Hungry all the time.
Unreal.
Who knew? Anyways, what do you got? What are you surfing over there? What do you got going on?
Just checking out the comments and following along.
I love it. From Ryan Schultz watching on YouTube. I believe it's my old radio buddy. Schultze says, yay, can't wait for hockey talk. The best hockey talk in all the land. There is, you see how everything's unfolding here? There's nobody else talking hockey in the daytime in this country, and I can damn sure guarantee you there's none in America, because I just came back from there. That's what they all told me. And now Sportsnet, TSN Radio, rolling up the carpets, turning out the lights on their daytime talk. So listen, we're going to get into this. The Jets haven't even played yet. And by the way, I ran into Chevy this morning in the elevator. I didn't tell you that. He was in Edmonton last week for the Jets were there. We had a good talk.
Okay.
You watch out for the Jets, man. Because yesterday I put on my Twitter, who you got in your Stanley Cup final? I noticed you ignored the tweet, by the way.
I didn't see it.
Who do you have in your Stanley Cup final? I said, Avi, the Vegas Golden Knights, against the Florida Panthers. And it was fairly popular. I should have tagged you, I guess, and got your attention. You're bullish. You were bullish on Florida last year.
I was. I really was. I think that they've built a really nice core. But now everybody's a little bit awake. They're waking up to the Florida Panthers.
They're not a secret anymore.
So it's no longer, me being a savant or a Nostradamus or whatever, and seeing the Florida Panthers come to, fruition. But they're there, very much so. But there's a lot of teams that have a shot. But yeah, Florida's. I would have Florida there. I really would. Although, Mark Messier was on ESPN talking about Tampa. That's his pick to get back there. He's done that time in Edmonton, right, with the Oilers. To get back there and win again, that's such a challenge. 3 times. I mean, so they'll be dialed in to try and do it.
Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, says, go where the puck is going to be, not where it is. That's why we've made the designation about this being an NHL show first. And you know what? It just feels so good. And by the way, you're successfully dodging your Stanley Cup final pick. So I'll give you a few more minutes. And by the way, because we're going to break in, Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes is coming up next live, okay? You missed when I said it last hour. Steven Stamkos has said that this is their motivation in Tampa. 3 straight Stanley Cups takes them out of the hockey world of dynasty into the pro sports legendary status.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, this kid's got it figured out. My buddy Stammer. Well, we'll see if the Hurricanes have anything to say about that when we come back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
a surprise wreath.
Oh my.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues. Coming to you from the bunker out here in Western Canada. It's opening night in the National Hockey League with a pair of games, but not for the Carolina Hurricanes. And we're very pleased to welcome to the program Carolina Hurricanes forward Vincent Trocheck, entering his 11th NHL season. They got a couple nights off here before they get rolling against the New York Islanders. Vincent, welcome to the RP Show. How are things down in Carolina, man?
Things are going well. Everybody's ready to get going.
I got to ask, what's it like knowing that it is opening night, but you guys got to wait until Thursday? Are you a little anxious to get going, or can you wait until Thursday? I guess you don't have a choice.
Yeah, we do not have a choice. But, I mean, I think we're all pretty anxious to get going. It's been a long training camp this year, and we only had a few preseason games, so everybody's kind of gearing up to get going.
I got to ask you, what is it like when you hear all this Cup talk, and it's Tampa, Florida, Islanders, some other, it seems like everybody but Carolina. You guys talk about that amongst yourselves? Is that because of the media market down there, or just you're the Rodney Dangerfields of the NHL? You ever feel like you don't get enough respect down there?
You know, I don't really think anybody in our locker room is thinking about it or listening to any of that outside noise. It's kind of just, we know how good of a team we have, and we've proven that we can make it into the playoffs and give teams some trouble. So with the additions that we've had this summer and the way we've played in the past and the leadership we have, the coaching we have, I think we're pretty confident in the team we have.
You got a tremendous hockey team, and obviously lost out to the eventual Stanley Cup champions last year. We all know what happened in your goal crease. Talk about the forwards. This is a bit of a different Carolina team coming back this year. How did it feel in training camp in those games?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's definitely a different team this year. We had a lot of new players compared to in the past. 9 new players this year, whereas last year it was just 1. So our forward group looks a little bit different up front. A little bit of kind of line combinations throughout the preseason and throughout camp have been kind of switched in and out a little bit, trying to figure out what works best. But we have a pretty deep forward group, and just like in the past, our D-core, I think, is one of the best in the league. So we have no concerns back there. And then obviously adding Freddie has been huge.
How about your line mates? Who have you been skating with here in the preseason, and who will you open up with Thursday night against the Islanders?
I've been working with a bunch of different combinations throughout camp. Right now I'm with Svechnikov and Teravainen. I've played alongside Netchess and Kokoniemi a little bit. What happens this Thursday, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty confident in all the guys that I've had on my wing. So whoever it is, I'll be happy with it.
Well, I got to ask you, how are you lining up with Jesperi Kotkaniemi? Because we were in Montreal for the Stanley Cup Final, did our shows out of there, and he had become a little bit of a whipping boy in Montreal, and it seemed like a change of scenery was needed for him. And then he lights it up for you guys in your first preseason game. What's it like playing with him?
I haven't really played against him much since he came into the league, so it's kind of new to me seeing him play. But he's a really good hockey player. He's got great hockey IQ. His hockey sense and vision is really good. Fits into majority of the Finnish players that I've played with. And he's a big frame too, a lot bigger than I thought he was. He's got a ton of skill. Obviously, he was a 3rd overall pick, and usually the guys that are taken that high have tremendous skill, and he's definitely got that. So I think he's going to be a really good hockey player for our team.
Vincent, I got to ask you about your head coach, Jack Adams Award winner last year, Rod Brindamore, still a legend. Notre Dame College is about 20 miles south of where I'm sitting right now, so we still follow him very closely. And it just seems like you love this guy, Rod Brindamore. What makes him such a successful NHL head coach?
Yeah, I mean, he's been awesome ever since I got here. I've loved what he's done and just the way he goes about being a head coach. He really cares. I mean, I think first and foremost, he cares so much about this hockey team and cares so much about winning. And you could tell that he just wants the best for all of us. And at the same time, he's extremely easy to talk to. He has an open mind. If you ever want to talk to him about anything, power play stuff, who you're playing with, anything like that, he has an open mind. Not necessarily saying he's going to do whatever you're asking him to do, but he's not just going to shut you down for the sake of having power. And then every single night he comes to the rink and he just looks like he wants to suit him up and go out there and play. You can tell how passionate he is about the hockey game. And I think all that combined together is the reason that he's such a good coach.
Funny you say that. Does he participate in fitness tests with you guys? Because he could. You know, he's routinely the fittest guy in the NHL as a player. Does he ever get down on the bench with you guys?
You know what? He goes through the bike test that we do, which is a very difficult bike test, and he passes it with flying colors. He's probably just as in shape, if not more in shape, than most of the guys in the league.
That does not surprise me at all. And by the way, his news conferences in the playoffs are so funny, too, when he's ripping the refs and stuff. What you're telling me is he's a player's coach, and that's everything in line with what we see on television of him. Lastly, Vincent, just with the Islanders, you got him in there Thursday opening up. A lot of people got him picked to win the Metropolitan Division. That's your division. It's going to be a hell of a game. Well, they don't have Everly coming in this year, close friend of ours. But what do you expect out of the Islanders in this game on Thursday night? Have you thought about it much?
Yeah, we've been doing a little bit of video on them, and just obviously we have so much time thinking about who we're playing on our first game. So I think they're a team that kind of matches up to our style of play most in the league. They play really hard, and they're a tough team to play against, very defensive. So, I mean, it'll be a good game on Thursday.
Should be an outstanding game. And, Vincent, I got to ask you, so in a couple weeks' time, you're going to be shaving down a little bit here? You got a Movember thing going on? What do you got going on here come November?
Yeah, I always participate in Movember, and I shave the beard a little bit and try to grow a nice mustache and raise awareness for men's health. So I'll get that going in a couple weeks. My wife will hate me for a month, but that's fine.
Well, the duster, we call it up here. I don't know what you call it down there, but can people donate to do you have a link or something, or the social media? How can people support what you're doing?
Yeah, I'll post a link on my social media. It'll be just a little website, my Movember website, and you can go on there and donate to raise awareness for men's health, and it's all for a good cause. So the lip sweater, as we call it down here, will be greasy.
Good stuff. Well, Vincent, hey, kudos to you, man, for doing that. And thanks for doing this show. I really appreciate it. Good luck Thursday night and with the season, man. I appreciate the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes, a Pittsburgh kid, as they get set to open up on Thursday night. We got one more segment left. It is overtime, and we'll be right back. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network across all 10 provinces and 31 states, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Come on in. I just broke my earpiece. I don't even know. I didn't have any issues with this at all in Florida, and now here I am breaking things, and we're back. The moose is back in the bunker. I can see you. I can't necessarily hear you, but I'll get this fixed.
I'm like 6 feet away from you.
Right.
You can hear me?
I can't hear producer Clark. I'll get it fixed here in a second.
All
But
right.
folks, I got to tell you, addiction, it destroys relationships, families, and lives. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center, recovery for life. AuroraRecoveryCenter.com. It is viewer takeover. It's overtime, presented by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, where they invite you down tonight to catch the NHL doubleheader, all the great baseball, and the best boneless Greek ribs anywhere in the world. But on the Prairie Mobile text line at 306-840-8777. Metal Shingle guy writing in on terms of the topics of this show. He says, I like the Golden Corral, a little bit of everything. Even your personal stories. That's what makes it the RP show. No limits. We call it the Golden Corral of sports talk, right? A little bit of everything. A buffet, if you will, Moose. So it's not changing that way. It's just we're going to talk a heck of a lot more NHL than we ever have, and that's our number one sport on this show. And when you got the Carolina Hurricanes putting on Vincent Trocheck, who was almost a point a game last year for the Carolina Hurricanes, you're going to do it. You're going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So about enough on that, I guess. We can talk about the CFL here in the final segment because people are fired up about their teams. But I'm just real excited to get into the car and get to Edmonton, for the love of Pete, because we're going to be broadcasting from West Edmonton Mall Wednesday, Thursday, in advance of the Oilers and Canucks. It's an exciting time.
I tell you, these drives, like, I love getting on the road and getting out and meeting people. We get to do that in all these different cities, and I think that's what's so great is we're taking the country and now the continent and turning it into one really small community, right? Where we can connect with all these people. I love it. So I can't wait. I know it's, 7-hour drive. It's going to feel like 2. It's going to go by in the blink of an eye, and we get to get into Edmonton, and I've been working in the breaks and the odd segments connecting with them all. They're really excited, talking about our plans and everything else that's going to go along with it, the people we're going to meet. So, let's go.
So to the final segment here, I see that the viewers are having quite a little discussion here about the Canadian Football League, and certainly we're not averse to that. It's not like we're not following it. Jeff, the Stamps fan, I don't know what he's talking about here. He says something about playing in the fishbowl. Every move is critiqued. It's about the franchise quarterback here, Cody Fajardo, going home in the bye week. I mean, this is so ugly. What's going on here with regards to the Roughriders, who have lost 4 of their last 6 games? And Jeff, the Stamps fans, watching it from Calgary, and says many are mad that he's going home for the bye week. It takes skin of steel to make it in Rider Nation. Starting quarterback for the Saskatchewan Roughriders is one of the hardest jobs in pro sports. And that is a fact. Nobody would believe it unless you've been here. You don't need to live here, but you just to have been here and see it. It's unreal what's going on. And I'm telling you, everywhere I go since coming home on Thursday from Florida is what's wrong with the Riders, what's wrong with the Riders, what's wrong with the Riders, everywhere. And it's just, I'm not going to lie, it was nice to get away. But now it's, nobody really knows what's wrong with the Riders. But this quarterback who everybody loved and they awarded this huge, almost $500,000 a year contract to, they're starting to turn on him. And I was talking with the media. You were nearby at the press box at the Pats game the other night, and they agreed the fans are turning on Cody Fajardo. And I just know that I've been around this long enough. You're not going to stop them if they want to turn on their football team. But I haven't watched all of the games. What I'm hearing is O-line issues, and the receiver group's not good enough. And I guess when Cody Fajardo came out and pointed the finger at his receiver group, that's where it all started. Would you say?
Yeah, and that was a bit of the unraveling. And when you're distracted, then it starts to affect the play on the field too, right? It can. At least it's in your mind. And the focus isn't 100% on football. Even though you try and block it out, it's still hanging in the air a little bit. So adversity can bring teams together, though, right? And what matters, you do have to get into the playoffs, but what matters is that your team is on the right track at the end of the season and starting in the in that back half of November this year, right? So they've got time to get it together, but adversity can either bring you together or pull you apart. They're at a crossroads right now, and I don't know which way they're going to go.
Right, but last week on this show, we talked about it, and we said, is it going to galvanize the team or is it going to disintegrate the team? And based on what happened Saturday night, again, I watched the first half, and I actually meant to say that. I now get how you guys watch more than one game at once. I get it. I was in the airport in Toronto, and I had on my MacBook the Panthers Lightning game and on my phone the Riders Stampeders game. So you watch a play, and when that ends, you go back to the other game, and then when the whistle blows, you go back here. That's how you do it, huh?
Yeah, that's how
I was doing it.
You go back and forth. What's really great for me and how we can evaluate all of these games on NFL Sunday and the marquee matchups is because using these different services like DAZN, I'll go back when I watch in the morning and I'll watch a whole game in an hour with the fast forward button. Every commercial break, right? Every stretch in between plays, 2-minute warnings, bing, 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 bing. And all of a sudden that game right down to an hour. It's awesome. So you can get through it really, really fast. But, yeah, and when we say, we thought last week, is it going to galvanize them or tear them apart? What we found out really was that They weren't over it. They were still in the adversity stage, still a distraction. So they haven't come out of it yet to determine which way it's going to go. So while it's a problem, it's not going to be good on the field.
So they lost their next game, which was Saturday night against Calgary, and then they go into a bye. And initially, I thought this isn't a good time for a bye week. You need to sit together and figure out your problems. They've lost 4 of 6. Then I thought about it for a while, and I'm like, well, no, maybe they do all need to get away. We don't know what they've been living with. Are they in a bubble? Are they not in the bubble? Are they vaccinated? Are they not? I don't have any idea. But the quarterback, Cody Fajardo, wants to get away for a week. He's getting ripped apart for that. He should be here. This is old as time. You can predict it, that the fans are going to criticize a quarterback for going away on a bye week. Yeah, you had a point.
You don't agree 100%. Time heals all wounds. Sometimes when a couple's fighting, you just need to take a little time apart, come back together, and away you go. Let's hope it works for the Riders if you're in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, well, now we just cracked the lid on this. But I'm going from here to go tape my Roughriders television show, so we'll be talking about that tonight, 7 p.m. SAS time. Tomorrow, what a 24 hours this is going to be. 22, actually. We will be at West Edmonton Mall getting ready for the Oilers' home opener against the Vancouver Canucks. Nice work, Moose.
Yes.
And to the entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern right here on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook. No laughing on the sponsors couch. This is the media. We're not supposed to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.